Chapter 1: The Disappearance. Captain Zorvan of the Kelkar Empire paced the gleaming bridge of his warship, Gravitas Wrath. His sleek, silver-scaled body shimmered in the soft glow of the ship's lights, and his 4 eyes flicked between various data streams displayed on the screens around him. The pride of the Kelkar fleet, his ship was part of an elite exploratory armada sent to investigate a mysterious anomaly, something that had been puzzling the galaxy's most advanced civilizations for centuries. Every fleet that ventured near the Sol system vanished without a trace. No debris, no distress signals, just silence. And now, Captain Zorvan was tasked with unraveling that enigma. He felt a twinge of unease as the warship approached the Sol system's outermost boundary. The great star, Sol, shone brightly in the distance, a beacon of warmth in the cold vacuum of space. Yet it was also a death trap, as far as the Kelkar were concerned. "Any signs of the anomaly?" Zorvan asked, his voice a deep rumble. "Negative, Captain," replied First Officer Vrel, a blue-skinned, lithe figure standing beside him. "All systems read normal. No unusual energy fluctuations, no gravitational distortions. Nothing. Maintain vigilance," Zorvan said, knowing that complacency could doom them all. "This human system has claimed more ships than any black hole in the galaxy." It was true. The Kelkar weren't the first to try and explore Earth's surrounding space. Dozens of species had attempted it, from the brutish Gornax to the hyper-advanced Polsri. Yet every fleet, every single one, had vanished upon approach. But why? Humanity, still bound to their planet, couldn't possibly be the cause. By all accounts, the humans were primitive, divided by borders, and hardly aware of the wider galaxy. Their technology, while advancing, was not on par with even the most rudimentary of galactic standards. Yet Earth remained an enigma. A deadly one? Chapter 2: Unseen Eyes. As Gravitas Wrath crossed the outer edges of the Kuiper Belt, Zorvan sensed something in the air, or rather, the absence of something. Space was, by its nature, quiet. But this was something more. A palpable stillness, a void of sensory input, as if the very fabric of the universe had drawn its breath in anticipation. "Captain," Vrel said suddenly, her voice unnervingly calm. "I'm detecting nothing. Absolutely nothing." Zorvan narrowed his eyes. "Nothing? Exactly. No subspace chatter. No background radiation. No solar wind. It's as if the system has been isolated from the rest of the galaxy." The hairs on the back of Zorvan's neck stood up. "Activate long-range scanners. We need more information." Vrel tapped a few buttons on her console, and the scanners hummed to life. But as soon as the data started pouring in, her face went pale. "Captain, there's something out there. Something massive. But it's invisible." Zorvan strode over to her console and looked at the readings. His heart sank. There was a colossal object in orbit around Sol, something that defied every known law of physics. It absorbed every kind of energy the scanners threw at it, reflecting none. It was utterly, terrifyingly silent. Could it be some kind of cloak structure? Zorvan asked, though he knew the answer was more than that. "It's not a structure, Captain," Vrel said quietly. "It's alive." Chapter 3: Earth's Guardian. The warship lurched as a deep, resonating sound filled the ship. A low hum, felt more than heard. The entire crew froze as the ship's systems began to fail. Lights flickered, the engines powered down, and the weapons went offline, one by one. Zorvan rushed to the communications console, only to find it too had gone dead. "What is this? A trap?" "No," Vrel whispered. "It's a warning." Suddenly, the view screen flared to life, but instead of showing the stars outside, an image of Earth appeared. Blue and green, a serene sphere suspended in the black void. But the peaceful image was quickly overshadowed by something else, an ancient presence, something beyond the comprehension of even the Kelkar. It was vast, incomprehensible, and undeniably powerful. "I see you," a voice echoed through the ship. It wasn't spoken in any language the crew knew, but they understood it nonetheless. The voice was deep, resonating in the bones of everyone aboard, as if the universe itself was speaking. You are not the first, the voice continued. Others came before you, seeking what they could not understand. I protect this place. I protect them. Zorvin's heart raced. What are you? There was a pause, as if the entity was amused by the question. I am the Sentinel. I have watched over this world for eons, since before their kind first crawled from the oceans. I guard them from those like you. Zorvin's mind raced. The Sentinel was no mere artifact, no forgotten defense mechanism left behind by some ancient race. It was something far older, a sentient entity that had chosen Earth as its ward. But why? Why do you protect them? Vrel asked, her voice trembling. They are unique, the Sentinel replied. They are potential. In all the galaxy, there is nothing quite like them. You, the Kelkar, and the others who came before you, see only a primitive species. But I see what they will become. The captain's thoughts whirled. Humanity, potential? The galaxy's civilizations had always dismissed humans as insignificant. But this being, this ancient guardian, saw them differently. Zorvin couldn't fathom it. And what will they become? They will transcend, the Sentinel said. In time, their intellect will surpass yours. Their unity will outlast your empires. And when they are ready, they will join the stars, not as conquerors, but as creators. The implication was staggering. Zorvin had never considered that such a backward species could be anything more than an evolutionary dead end, but the Sentinel spoke with absolute certainty. Humanity would become something greater. But you cannot interfere, the Sentinel warned. This world is under my protection. Any attempt to harm them will result in your annihilation. Turn back, and you may yet leave this place alive. Zorvin stared at the view screen, at the image of Earth. It seemed so fragile, so vulnerable. Yet it was protected by something beyond the understanding of even the greatest galactic powers. Captain, Vrel whispered, her voice filled with awe and fear. We need to leave. Zorvin hesitated for a long moment, staring at the planet that had claimed so many lives before his. Then he nodded, the weight of his decision settling over him like a cloak. Turn the ship around, he ordered quietly. We're leaving. The engines powered back on, the ship's systems returned to life, and Gravitas Wrath slowly began to retreat from the Sol system. As they passed the boundary of the system, the crew collectively exhaled, the oppressive weight of the Sentinel's presence lifting from their minds. Chapter 4: A Silent Promise. As the ship made its way into the depths of interstellar space, Captain Zorvin sat alone in his quarters, contemplating all that had transpired. Humanity was under the protection of a being far beyond his comprehension, and they were destined for a future that could reshape the galaxy itself. But there was something else. A quiet realization that lingered in the back of his mind. The Sentinel had chosen to protect them, not because they were powerful now, but because they would be. And when that time came, humanity would no longer need protection. They would be the ones watching the stars. Zorvin couldn't help but feel a sense of dread. What kind of force would humans become when they finally ascended? Would they be as benevolent as the Sentinel believed? Or would they remember those who had once dared to trespass against them? He didn't know. But for now, he had made the right choice. They would leave Earth in peace. And pray that the humans would do the same. As the Gravitas Wrath vanished into the cold void, the Sentinel remained, unseen and unspoken, watching over its charge. Earth continued to spin, blissfully unaware of the ancient protector that stood vigilant over its fragile cradle, and the universe held its breath. For now, at least.